Hey, man.
What's up?
Have you ever heard of the Watcher of 657 Boulevard?
Oh, yeah. I know that guy.
I want to tell you, man.
The Watcher of 657.
Yeah, this episode's going to make your skin crawl, bro.
Great. What's perfect is that's the first half of the zip code of the town I grew up in. So I was really nervous about how you were about to end that. Because Mount Vernon is 65712.
Oh, man. Yep. Yeah, it's close. This was actually recommended to us by one of our patrons, Boulevard. Yeah. People who listen to this think that we have like bots for Patreon supporters. They're just like, oh, okay, Danley Man, Bodella. Yeah. So he actually recommended this last night while I was planning, and I changed my plans for this one.
For this?
I was like, oh, this is spooky.
So this is a real learned it last night thing.
This is a legitimate, like, I was planning out my content for today. I had already made my decision, and then he recommended this last night, and I was like, oh, yeah, we're doing that.
Okay.
So this is spooky.
The Watcher of 657 Boulevard.
Yeah. Before we get going, man, you look really good. Did you lose some weight?
Thanks. Yeah, I had food poisoning. Like the worst that's ever happened. Sometimes I do that, you know. Like I was getting the end of my march, and I was like, I haven't reached my goals. Why don't I just consume some tainted beef? You know.
Anybody got any raw beef?
Anybody got any? Yeah, every morning I eat, you know, and that's my fitness advice. If you're struggling to reach your goals, sometimes I just pull out 2 raw chicken breasts and I just go to town.
Down.
Oh yeah, you know, maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's salmonella. You know.
Like,
is it a small town?
No, it's New Jersey. It's Westfield, New Jersey. It's like a suburb of New Jersey City.
This is why I don't want to buy a used home. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I got to build a house.
She's like, it might be him. He's a little weird. So
what did Derek do? This weak, effeminate man who wasn't willing to stand for his family by burning his house down.
Things I learned last night.
Oh, dude, it was rough, man. I was sick. I was bad. So,
yeah.
Thanks for saying that, though.
Yeah,
that's gonna really. That's what sucks about food poisoning is that it's terrible the whole time.
People think you're healthy, but you're.
But then the day
not.
after, you're like, "Dadgum, man." Do you know that's actually something that people in Hollywood do? Like, not food poisoning, but they'll drink like Miralax and like clear out their body to dehydrate themselves and because you really will lose like 7 pounds in a day.
Interesting.
I probably shouldn't say that to anybody who's like, don't.
Well, like I know, like UFC fighters will do stuff like that to like cut weight. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you're like, you know, but people in Hollywood who have really unhealthy views of themselves, will do that before big auditions or roles. Like it's not good stuff, you know. Damn. And I'm one of them. We were filming, and I was like, I'm just chowing down on, you know. I'm not gonna say who gave me food poisoning, all right, but I'm saying goodbye, Fresh. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm no more. They don't sponsor us.
I hope one day they do, and they don't know that you said that. And so I hope that this is like a year from now, they picked us up. This episode starts with you talking about how much you love them, and then you coming and saying...
One thing that's really convenient. Do you hate the grocery store as much as I do? Other people? Blah. You know, that's the real motive behind getting those grocery deliveries. You know, seeing other people with their dumb little eyes and their mouths out in public, and you're like, ugh. Why don't you close the holes in your face and get away from me? You know, you know what I'm talking about. Hello, Frank. Could be said for DoorDash as well.
Yeah, all those.
You know?
It's just because you don't.
All
like
the delivery services. It's it's masked behind, you know, safety or like convenience. But really, it's just a deep hatred for anybody else.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we need to get into this. 657 Boulevard.
The watcher of
657 Boulevard. I want to first.
Is this a neighborhood watch guy who just took it real serious?
No. I want to first mention somebody. I've watched a lot of videos since last night about this. It just hooked me.
You look like you haven't slept.
I haven't. I spent all night. I pulled an all nighter.
Say thanks, man.
Thanks for
I had food poisoning. You pulled an all-nighter on the Watcher?
On the Watcher. Yeah, I pulled an all-nighter watching the Watcher. And one guy brought this up that I didn't notice. It was like the 10th video I've watched. I was like, how did I not notice this? But 657 Boulevard, like the street is called Boulevard, but it's not like something Boulevard. It's just Boulevard. Not Boulevard, not Boulevard Street. It's literally, the street is just Boulevard.
Oh, yeah, the street is 657.
No, the address of the street. The address of the house is 657.
There's a house.
Yeah, there's a house. So the house is 657, and it's on the street Boulevard. But it's not Boulevard Street. It's not Boulevard Road. It's just Boulevard.
Yeah.
It's not Southwest Boulevard. Like,
is
it's
it
just
a small town?
No, it's New Jersey. It's Westfield, New Jersey. It's like a suburb of New Jersey City.
I love when you get panic in your eyes. You look to me to save you, and I just go, no. No, let that one hit you.
I'm pretty sure it's a suburb.
It's a suburb of...
It's a suburb of New York. Newark, New
Jersey.
It's a part of the New York metro area.
Okay.
And so, like...
I was saying, like a small town, you know?
Yeah, in a small town, they're like, that's the boulevard, that's the street,
that's the parkway.
road. Yeah.
In Mount Vernon, we have a Parkway Drive.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Isn't
Did
that
you know
neat?
that's a band?
That's why I brought it up to you.
Cool. Do you think they're from Mount Vernon?
Yeah. Yeah. They're the watchers of Parkway Drive.
All right. So
is this a person who lives in this house then? You'll get there.
So in June 2014, the Broaddus family
Kind of recent.
moved into 657 Boulevard, home in Westfield, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Derek and Maria were the names of the couple. Maria, she actually grew up in Westfield, and so this was like a big return home. Yeah.
Sure.
Derek was a VP of a large insurance company in Manhattan. And so this was a $1.3 million home that they purchased.
Oh.
And Westfield at the time was the 99th wealthiest town in the nation, which...
Hey, top 100,
barely
baby.
important.
Yeah.
But was the 30th safest town in the nation around the same time, which also 30th... Like, here's the thing. If you say, like, you're top 100 of something, you're like, oh, that's significant.
Great.
But if you say you're the 30th, I don't think that's special. Like, if you said you're one of the
you're
most...
still in the top 100.
Yeah, but if you came to me and you said, my town is one of the top 100 safest towns in America, I'd be like, wow, that's really special. But if you say my town is the 30th safest in the nation, something about that to me just sounds
You would say, that's really hard to say.
I would say...
Your town is the 30th safest. That's...
I would say... I don't care. I would say, come to me when it's 10. Like,
how many
30
towns
is not
exist in the
important.
country, you know?
I mean, probably
That's
a
pretty
lot.
high on the list.
How many towns in the U.S.? As of 2018, there are 19,495 incorporated cities, towns, and villages in the U.S.
So
14,000 of them have a population below
100.
No,
Oh.
5,000.
Oh. Hey. Laverne. That's Laverne.
Hey, so here's to me. If you say you're the 30th, just say you're top 100. Top 100 sounds
Say
better
you're
than
top
30th.
50.
Yeah, that sounds better than top.
Say
than
you're top
30th.
30.
Yeah, throw the top in there, and then I think it's significant. If you just say you're 30th, I'm like, that's not important. Like, that's not special to me.
Yeah.
So, top.
Hey, you're
top
in
30.
my top 5 friends.
You're in my top 30.
Yeah. Under 30. You're in my 30 under 30.
Out of everyone I know that's under 30 years old,
And I know a lot.
you're in the top 30.
You get it. So Derek and Maria,
Yeah, they move into this house.
they sound like rich New Jersey couple.
Yeah, so they moved in their house with their kids, and they knew they were going to have to do a little bit of work on it. It's like a 102-year-old house, right? Oh,
Sure.
109. 109. It's a 109-year-old house. And so they're neither going to have to do a lot of work.
You said that like it's going to be important.
I mean, it'll come up, but it's not
okay.
super important. But they started moving all their stuff in.
What is this, a ghost thing?
No. I mean, maybe. I mean, it could be. It could be aliens.
All right.
You seem like you have something to say.
No, I was going to say, go ahead.
So they're moving all their stuff in, and Derek checks the mail. First day they're there. They're move-in day.
Gosh.
Move-in day. And flipping through the mail, it's all the typical stuff. You got bills. He's like, how do I already got bills? This is day one. Flipping through, ads, like coupons, welcoming him to the neighborhood, whatever.
Panda Express.
Yeah, Panda Express is like, hey, come
express yourself. What were you about to say?
Express yourself at Panda Express.
Yeah.
Everybody there just dresses like pandas now. Okay,
isn't it interesting the difference between Panda Express and then Express?
Like the regular
like the
Express
clothes
show.
store.
Yeah. Oh, I thought this was Panda Express.
That's what I'm saying. You walk in, you go, hold on.
Where do I get the chicken lo mein?
Anyway.
So they're moving in, and he checks the mail, and on but one of the parcels, if you will, stood out to him because it didn't have
handwritten and just
it didn't have an address on it. It didn't have a return address.
Love this.
It just on the front, just in like bold letters, like bold handwritten letters, it said the new owner. Which so he opens it.
Which he opens it, right? This is why I don't want to buy a used home. You know what I'm talking about? Like I gotta build a house. I don't want to buy a used house. All right. This is why I like my parents' house. My parents built their house. You know what I'm talking about? There's no ghost there.
Yeah, this home I bought it used.
My parents built their house. There's no ghost there.
Do you have the home facts?
They don't know the layout. All right. So like if there is a ghost, then
they're confused.
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute. No, that's what I'm saying. I got to build a house. There's no one's watching a new one. All right.
So the letter says,
oh no. How long is the letter?
It's long. It says, dearest new neighbor at 657 Boulevard, allow me to welcome you to the neighborhood. So it sounds like, oh, hey, we got a friendly new neighbor that's welcoming me. Would have appreciated some cookies, but I'll settle for this letter.
Okay.
And then it goes on. And it says, 657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades now. And as it approaches its 110th birthday, I have been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming. My grandfather watched the house in the 20s.
It's second coming?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, my grandfather watched the house in the 20s, and my father watched it in the 60s. It is now my time. Do you know the history of the house? Do you know what lies within the walls of 657 Boulevard? Why are you here? I will find out. And then he says,
I will find out is a sentence I don't like.
And he says, do you need to fill the house with young blood I requested?
What?
Better for me. Was your old house too small for the growing family? Or was it greed to bring me your children? Once I know their names, I will call to them and draw them to me. There are hundreds and hundreds of cars that drive by 657 Boulevard each day. Maybe I am in one. Look at all the windows you can see from 657 Boulevard. Maybe I am in one. Look at all of the many windows on 657 Boulevard at all the people who stroll by each day. Maybe I am one of them. Welcome, my friends. Welcome. Let the party begin.
You know what I'd do?
What?
And I wouldn't even try to claim insurance on it, but I'd burn that house down.
Oh yeah, I did this.
I would burn it down, and then I would
this.
stand on the sidewalk, and I would have one of those sandwich boards that said "Watch the flames." Maybe I am one. I would get this guy.
Maybe I'm in one.
Maybe I am. No, maybe I'm one of the flames. No, like this is, and my girlfriend will tell you this. Okay, if we got that letter at a house, I would burn it to the ground, lose my entire investment, just to spite whoever this is. Even if this is like some stupid like sophomore in high school or whatever, all right?
Yeah, can you imagine like
some kid runs up, he's like, it was a joke. He's got his camera because he's doing it for TikTok. It was a joke. Go in there then.
Yeah, go
in the house.
Go in.
Go take your video.
Yeah,
do it for TikTok for the clout.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of clout.
Dude, I will out crazy any day. You understand what I'm saying? I get that letter, I burn the house down. Easy. Episode over.
So
what did Derek do? This weak, effeminate man who wasn't willing to stand for his family by burning his house down. This total beta male who wasn't willing to take charge and burn his house down. That's the alpha move. Turn your house to ashes in the name of masculinity. Tuesday. That's right. That's when new episodes drop on Patreon. Patreon's a way to get early access to episodes and other content and exclusive merchandise. And we're not going to stop there because we got a private Discord with our hosts and producers in it for less than 17 cents a day. That's right. That's $5 a month. You too can be a Patreon supporter and not hear advertisements in this freaking podcast anymore. Text TILLN to 66866. Otherwise, I'll come to your house. I will find you. I will destroy everything that's good in your life until we're the only thing left. Anyway, here's another advertisement.
So they were conflicted after this first one, right?
This is day one.
This is day one. They were conflicted after they got this letter because they said...
what if you're moving stuff in? Do you just say, hey, close the U-Haul? Nothing else.
On.
Whatever's in there, it belongs to the house now with that girl. It's the house's. That's the house's child.
So they did. They went home.
You got to go to the police.
They went home and they're like, what do we want to do? Is this legit? Is this a prank? Is this whatever? So they emailed the previous owners and they asked them, John and Andrea Woods, and they asked them, did you ever see anything like this, like in your time here? And they're like, no, but they did say, well, there was one letter we received right before we moved, but we just threw it away because we thought it was a joke. Like we didn't think anything of it. And we just trashed it. They were there for 23 years.
So nothing happened to them, though.
No, as far as we can tell, they're fine.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they were like, we just threw the letter away. It was a dumb thing.
Yeah. And so then Maria and Derek were like, oh, it must be like some kid like trying to be funny or whatever. And so they went back to the house a couple weeks later and continued moving in and found another letter. Oh, no. Again, addressed to the owner. And it said, welcome again to your new home at 657 Boulevard. The workers have been busy, and I've been watching you unload carfuls of your personal belongings. The dumpster is a nice touch. They're renovating that big dumpster.
And one of those big dumpsters.
Yeah.
I would leave it there forever.
Oh, yeah, you like it?
Yeah, I'm going to scoop the ashes of this house into it.
And then he says, have they found what's in the walls yet? In time, they will. And then he says 657.
What?
They'll find it.
Have they found what's in the walls yet? Who's they?
Yeah. I mean, it's the construction workers. They got workers doing reno stuff. And so, and then he said, 657 Boulevard is anxious for you to move in. It has been years and years since the young blood ruled the hallways of the house. Have you found all the secrets it holds yet? Will the young blood play in the basement? If you haven't figured this out, the young blood, he's talking about their kids.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's, so.
I didn't think he was talking about young blood Kia in Springfield, Missouri. You think I'm like, oh yeah, the dealership?
No, yeah, he's talking about their kids. He said, will the young blood play in the basement, or are they too afraid to go down there alone? I would be afraid if I were them. It is far away from the rest of the house. If you were upstairs, you would never hear them scream. Then he says, will they sleep in the attic? Or will you all sleep on the second floor? Who has the bedroom facing the street? I will know as soon as you move in. It will help me to know who is in each room. That way I can plan better.
Nah. I'm burning it down. No.
That says, all the windows and doors in 657 Boulevard allow me to watch you and track you as you move throughout the house. Who am I? I'm the Watcher, and I have been in control of 657 Boulevard for the better part of 2 decades now. The Woods family turned it over to you. It was their time to move on and kindly sold it when I asked them to. I pass by many times a day.
When I asked them to?
Mm-hmm. I pass by many times a day. 657 Boulevard is my job. It's my life. It's my obsession. And now, you too are Broaddus family. So now he knows their name.
Well, yeah, he's going through their mail. That's not like, oh, how did he figure that out? He's putting this on our mailbox.
Clearly, yeah. Welcome to...
Bro, I would have cameras And I would literally buy the house across the street.
So he says, welcome to the product of your greed. Greed is what brought the past 3 families to 657 Boulevard, and now it has brought you to me. Have a happy moving day. You know I will be watching. Gosh, this one just makes my skin crawl.
So this feels like the type of person, and there was a guy who went to my high school, who you keep up with people on Facebook. And this guy slowly became, he was odd in high school, but he slowly became weirder. Did I tell you about this guy? He's the kind of dude that is like, I prayed that God would supply this for me, and he did. One day he posted that, and this is real. This isn't me, like, I'm not saying this to make fun of him or whatever. I'm saying, like, this is the type of person that I think this could be.
Yeah.
Is he posted one day of him walking on the sidewalk, and he posts a picture of a package of bologna that's on the sidewalk. And he said he was just praying to God for nourishment and food, and then found this package of bologna on the sidewalk. And then was eating that bologna. You know what I'm talking about? And so it's that kind of what? Where like that was one of the days where I was like, oh, he's lost it,
Yeah.
And that's what this is either a prank that if it happens to me is going to go terribly wrong for the prankster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I will not attack the person. I will outwin them. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I will out crazy them.
I will. That's what I'm saying. I'll out crazy you.
Yeah.
Or it's like a person who is legitimately like, my grandfather did this. My dad did this. And you're like, did they though?
Yeah, that's creepy.
Is that the final letter?
No, there's a few more, and it's interesting because it's like the letters that we have, like they get sparser, like the details we have from them, because the Broaddus family just stopped kind of sharing what was going on. But like there's just continues to be creepy stuff.
Did they go to the police?
Yeah, so they eventually did go to the police.
What letter did they go to the police?
After this one where he talked about
when he's talking about their kids.
Like he's like once I know where they move and who's in what room, I can plan better. Yeah, they went to the police.
And so that's something. Yeah, I can plan better. No, that's a threat.
Yeah, that's a straight up threat. Yeah. So so they stopped bringing their kids around. They stopped moving in. They continued the renovations, but they were staying with their parents and they were gone for a long time. And so like the letters after this like open with like, where have you gone to? 657 Boulevard is missing you. And he like talks about this house like it's a person.
Yeah.
Which, to give you a perspective, I do have a picture of the house so you can see it. It's an old style.
Yeah, it looks like what would be in a scary movie.
It does. And I mean, he's right. There's
like it's got the top window. That's where that old lady is at nighttime.
Yep.
Right. And it's got this long driveway where the killer just emerges from these bushes.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Actually.
Yeah. It's got a brick. It's got a fireplace. That's obviously because you're gonna need the little sticker thing, right, to kill the person who breaks in.
Yep.
It's got all the elements for a good horror movie.
Yep. A good little killer film.
I would have cameras through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And also on the outside.
He did.
And also I would befriend the neighbor across the street and get cameras at their house.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Well, that's the problem. That's a little stressful for the
can't trust any of your neighbors.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody somewhere around here. So it's like, who can I trust? Who can I talk to?
I would stake out the house at night.
Yeah.
I'm saying I would out crazy this person. I kind of want to do it. This is 2014. Do we know who lives there now?
I don't think we know, but somebody does.
Oh, yeah. Hey. TILLN on location?
TILLN all?
Dude, let's go out crazy.
Okay, so here's
I get excited. I'm getting excited about it.
So here's what happened next. The police went investigating.
Yeah.
Doing their police thing.
Police show up.
Yeah. So they had a couple leads. Lead number 1, they call him the gamer. And so this was a guy who was spotted driving by once. And his girlfriend said that he played a video game called The Watcher. And she's like, it might be him. He's a little weird. And
his girlfriend
outed him.
His girlfriend calls the police and is like, yeah, but it wasn't The Watcher. It was The Witcher, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Literally not.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it actually that?
Yeah, it was The Witcher.
No! Was it really?
He played The Witcher, yeah. So like they call him for questioning, and he doesn't.
Is
come
it
in.
really The Witcher?
Yeah, he doesn't come
That's
in twice,
so
and it's like, yeah, I
ridiculous.
play The Witcher.
The Witcher.
And I just drove by.
I
that
was
house
doing that
once.
as a joke.
No, yeah, he plays
That's
The Witcher.
hilarious. That's hilarious. And I only know that because Ray plays it
A lot.
nonstop. Yeah, she's
big
all
fan.
about it.
Big Witcher fan. Which I need to catch up with her. She's ahead of me. Anyways,
Are y'all doing it together? Y'all playing Witcher together?
no, but I want to be better at it than her.
You won't, because she's watching the series, she's reading the books, and she's playing the video game. This
And
girl-
she's writing letters to a
and
family in
she's
New
writing
Jersey.
letters to a family at a house in New Jersey. And she's flying there to deliver them in hand. She wants to make sure it gets there, you know?
I need to be sure.
And I called the police. I don't know who to call. I didn't know if I should call a Kansas City Police Department or the New Jersey Police Department and be like, hey,
New Jersey City.
she's playing this game called The Watcher. I can't believe I got that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So
So the police were like, it's not
They're
the
like,
gamer.
all right,
It's not the
okay.
gamer. But then they turn their
he's like, she
scope-
said I was weird. Imagine that though. You got like imagine the fight that happens after that. You're like, you called the police and said I was weird.
And I've told you so much about The Witcher, and you
I have
think
talked
said
about it
Watcher?
nonstop. All right. I got to eat something. I found this bologna. That's got to be a fight after that, though, you know? Jeez.
God, that baloney got me. I legitimately thought that you were literally just like, oh man, I need to eat something. I'm feeling a little weak right now.
God.
Like I literally thought we were gonna pause it for you to eat a snack.
Oh, me?
Yeah, I thought you were just like dehydrated
I'm
from
fragile?
from your food poisoning or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, I need to
and
get a
then
snack
I bring
real
out a package of raw beef, and I'm just eating it with my bare hands. And I'm just like, yeah, needed a snack. Just the plastic. I haven't. It's not even sealed.
It's one of the tubes.
It's browning.
you just-
It's half because I ate half of it last night. I'm just eating browning raw meat.
God, I can't handle this.
And I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't know why I was sick.
Okay, so
So it's not the gamer.
it's not the gamer. The
But
police.
what are the police going off of? Oh, this person drove by once?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming they're staking it out and looking for suspicious individuals.
Sure.
That's what's tough is like all they have is these letters and like very few descriptions from the letters because we do know
I would have a camera in the mailbox.
that's pretty smart. We do know that his grandfather in the 20s watched it. His father in the 60s watched it. And now
Yep.
he's watching it. There's another letter where he talks about himself running through the halls and he was the young blood in the house. So there's the possibility that maybe his parents were a previous owner somewhere along the line. But that also is a little conflicting because it's like if his father was the watcher and he lived there, that's a little strange.
Right.
Or if his grandfather, so maybe it was like a family
You
member
should
or a
just start
family
calling
friend.
yourself the watcher of your house.
Are you the homeowner? Yeah,
Maybe
I'm the
it's
watcher.
a situation where his dad just didn't want to play with him, you know? And he's like, Dad, can we go outside? He's like, I'm busy. What are you doing? Watching the house.
Is that what dads do? Yeah, my dad did it before me.
My dad did it before me, and you'll do it one day too. And the kid was like, yeah, we'll do it.
I will watch
Yeah, and really his dad was drunk in the front yard, facing the house.
because the police told him he couldn't throw his bottles at the street anymore.
Yeah,
so now
I'm
he
not
just
allowed
throws them
to.
at the
Well, the
house.
neighbors got a restraining order because I was looking through their windows too much. So now I'm told that I have to face the house. It's a sad arc, but
He's like,
it's,
cheers to the house.
yeah,
He's like, hey, 657, good to see you again.
yeah. Canceled his trash service and started putting it in the walls.
Son, I need you to help me dig a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
I got some more bottles,
Well, we don't have any insulation.
but we got a lot
We
of
got a lot of
Coors.
Coors bottles.
So the police turned their sights to Michael Langford, who
He
was
did it.
a guy
That's
across.
a guilty name. That's a guilty name. Remember, I talked about that. We talked about this before.
Yeah. There are certain names that they just
in the
carry
DB
guilt.
Cooper episode.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, they carry.
I'll say it again. I would be a great detective. You give me a name, I'll tell you who did it. Michael Langford, guilty.
He's the one. So the Langfords lived across the street. Michael lived with his mom, who was 93 years old.
Yeah, he lives with his mom. Yeah.
Yeah, his mom is 93. He's in his 60s. And his siblings also live there. They all still live at home with their 93-year-old mom.
Adults who live with their... I'm just kidding. I was trying to take a shot at our video guy. He still lives with his parents.
Hey, have you ever heard of TILLN podcast merch? That's right. We've got a full merch store of TILLN branded tees, mugs, stickers, hoodies, a lot more. And we put out new designs with every episode, but those are only available for a limited time, so you got to get those while they're hot. Text TILLN to 66866 to get access to our exclusive merchandise.
Yeah, so his mom's 93. And so the timeline does kind of check out. Like, with the age of his mom and his age, then it's like, okay, if you play the timeline back, his dad probably would be watching the house in the 60s, and his grandfather probably would be watching the house in the 20 with their ages.
Just because they've lived in this house for that long?
Well, no, because you look, Michael was in his 60s. And
yeah,
so
but
if you
saying,
play
have
the
they
age
lived
of
across
everybody,
the street that whole time?
I actually don't know. I do know.
Because that's a different thing, is if your drunk dad's in the living room watching the house across the street. You know, you're like, Dad, you want to play? I'm busy watching 657 Boulevard.
Yeah, they couldn't afford a TV because they spent all their money on this $900,000 house.
He's trying to watch the TV, and in the 60s, it's like that little small,
tiny.
great. He's just binoculars. Isn't there a guy in your neighborhood that does this though?
No, that was.
Didn't we pass that house where the guy is just sitting there with binoculars?
Was near my neighborhood. It was the next neighborhood over, but there was a guy literally just in his window, like looking out. And here's the thing about like where he lives, like across the street
is nothing.
It's just an open field.
It's nothing.
He's just sitting there.
He's just
like,
binoculars
in his front room, just with binoculars looking out.
Fully lit too,
Yeah.
like not in a dark
Not
room
trying
either.
to look like he's not.
Like, he's clearly a shadow of a person in the window, and he's just, super stealth. You know,
honey, what do you see? Nothing.
Nothing. It's just the glare of the light behind him on the window. It wouldn't be honey. It'd be, son, what do you see? You know, it's like, nothing, Mom.
Nothing, Mom. Have you tried taking the caps off?
Oh, that'll do it.
Oh, wow, look at the world. I've never seen
Look at
it
Lee Summit. That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm the watcher of Lee Summit.
So here's the thing about the Langfords, right? They did DNA testing on the letters.
Okay.
Nobody matched in the Langford house.
Sure.
The thing, though, one of the things that's eerie about the situation.
Did they have DNA from the letters?
Yeah. So there was like someone
was there a fingerprint or was there a
left a little bit of their skin on the letter or something? I
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, there was something on the letter that they were able to get some DNA from. I don't know if it was like drool or what, but like someone
he's writing a letter and he's just like salivating all. He's like, yeah,
young blood.
Do they know what's in the halls yet? Jeez.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why three reasons why Michael was a target for them was: one, he lived across the street; two, the ages lined up; three, he was a diagnosed schizophrenic. And so it would make a lot of sense that he would have this fantastic story that he's coming up with and writing it in letters and dropping it in the mail across the street.
Sure.
And strongly believed he was the watcher of this house. Well, what's odd is they brought him in for questioning. They questioned him. And then they dismissed the entire Langford family as a suspect with no explanation. They never gave a public explanation to why, but they dismissed them.
He convinced the police.
He said, look, I've been doing your job for this house.
And they're like, huh?
For 100 years. Can't argue with that.
Yeah. He's like, I've been watching that house. I actually watched as your patrol car rolled up with a woman who's not your wife. And he's like, case dismissed.
Yeah. Not involved.
It's not this guy. Let's talk to that Witcher kid again.
The Witcher kid again. Tell everyone it's the Watcher. It's a different game.
It's a
different game.
Different kid.
And so the Broadduses were like, oh, we want to get out of here. We want to get out of this house. They listed it for sale, but no one would buy it because by now it's all over the news. And and it's even making national news. Like it was on the Today Show. Like people are like, this is
Today
creepy.
Show?
Yeah.
The historically peppy. Good morning, everybody.
Yes.
We've got a story out of New Jersey.
Which I watched the video.
Watcher.
That's exactly what
Is
it
that
was
really
like. I
how it
watched the
goes?
video, and it was literally, she was so excited.
Because they show videos of dachshunds. They're like, look at these little wiener dogs. The Today Show, hope you have a good day. But before you go, here's the evil that exists in the world. You're like,
It literally was. It literally was. She was so excited. And then she was like, check out this story from New Jersey. And then it was like, Oregon. And it's like,
like the cartoon organ, you know.
and like there was like this big vignette around the house that like came in. Like it was like, holy crap. Like you guys are totally making a
black
joke
and
out of
white,
this.
like
In a neighborhood on a boulevard that doesn't have a name.
you know, and it's like, what is going on here? So they just dismissed it for no reason, though.
Yeah, so the police dismissed it, and they were kind of like, we can't do any, we can't figure out who this is. We don't have enough evidence. We don't have enough evidence on anyone to book them for it. And so Derek hires a private investigator. That guy doesn't come up with anything. He put
considered
cameras.
hiring a podcast?
I mean, they weren't as big back then.
Dude, the guy's rich. I'm kind of serious, though.
I mean, not anymore.
Oh.
So they put a bunch of cameras all around the house.
Obviously. Good.
And so he was trying to figure it out.
I would have done that day one, but go ahead. Yeah, Derek's catching up.
And so the police thing runs dry. The private investigator thing
I
runs
would have
dry.
had like little garden gnomes with cameras for eyes. You know, like I would have like really. There's a part of me that wants to do that. Like
There's a part of me that wants the house.
We need enough Patreon supporters to pay a mortgage on 657 Boulevard.
Yeah, we're gonna start a 657 Boulevard tier. It's
Yeah.
$1.3 million. Well, it's just the mortgage cost. The cost of what the mortgage would be.
What is that on a 30?
It's probably less. It's honestly probably about the same as the Monster Truck tier. Yeah. So if they had a 30-year fixed mortgage, they're probably paying around $7,000 a month.
Okay. I mean, hey, we're close. We're not close to that. But we would love to be. If you listen to this, make sure you leave us a review and maybe check us out on Patreon because you do get a lot more stuff, you know?
Yeah, and then maybe we could buy 657 Boulevard in the future.
Yeah. And all the domains
this
that
to
go with
rest.
657boulevard.com.
Yeah.
657boulevard and gumballs.com.
So finally, the Broader.
Yep.
The Broaddus family was like, we're just going to list it. So they listed it for sale. Nobody in town wanted it. Nobody outside of town wanted it. It's been in the news. Everybody knows.
Yeah, you can Google the address, and the house isn't the first thing that pops up anymore.
Yeah, and everyone's like, I don't want to move into this stalker house.
Yeah.
And so they had it listed for 2 years. No one bought it.
Which maybe that's now, here's the trick to the housing market, right?
Yeah.
All these prices, insane,
Yeah.
right? But you do this to somebody's house, drive the price down, and then you come in and be like, I'm not afraid of no stalker. All right? Oh, somebody's going to watch me? Oh, I'll get them with my little garden gnome cameras. You know? You move in so confident, suddenly you got a house for half the price.
That's pretty clever.
I probably shouldn't have said that out
pretty
loud.
Clever.
I shouldn't have said that part out loud.
That's some pretty good fraud right there.
Yeah, that's a good scheme.
That's a good fraud.
You know? Don't even need a realtor for it.
So nobody bought the house. They had it for like 2 years. They're living with their parents because they can't afford another mortgage. So they're just stuck paying the mortgage on this house that they're not living in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so they're trying to figure out how can we get out of this? Like, what are we going to do? No one wants to buy it. So they come up with this plan. They said, hey, we'll demolish the house.
Yep,
And
that's what I would do.
split it into 2 lots and build 2 new houses on it and sell those 2 houses. Because now people are like, well, there's no 657
And then the guy's
anymore. I can't watch 2
Which
houses.
one do I
at
watch?
once. 656 or 658?
His eyes are split. Huh. Wait, did they demolish the house?
Well, they went to the city and they asked.
Historical.
Well, they asked for permission to tear the house down and to build new houses. It's not a historical building.
Okay.
So they could have done it on that. The problem is the minimum lot size in town is 70 square feet, I think, something like that. They were it was 67. They were 3 short on both the lots. And so they asked for an exemption and they said no. And so they couldn't split it. Here's the kicker though. Around the same time, another house just down the road asked for the same thing and they got approved.
So the city knows, you know. The city's like, well, we're keeping an eye on the person keeping an eye. So
it seems pretty clear with the fact that the police just kind of dropped it. The local private investigator couldn't find anything. The city wouldn't allow them to tear the house down. That somebody pretty up there
is watching
that house. Yeah.
No way.
I mean,
that's your theory?
To me, it's got to be. Because
you think maybe an elected official.
There's too much. Like, the police literally just gave up. They were like, yeah, sorry, guys. Like, we can't figure it out. Bummer. And the city was like, the city made an exception for someone else. And at the other house, like, they were like 20 feet off. Like, it wasn't like they were close.
That's what I'm saying. I would burn it to the ground.
And then these people like try to do it with this house.
And I would pay the $7,000 the rest of my life. I really would. I really would. I would have a sign out front that just says, watch this.
And so,
I want to get this person. So I don't know what this is in my body right now, but it's not fear. You know what I'm talking about? Like, there's just like this rage that's like, this is someone I could take out everything on this person. You know what I'm saying? If I knew that something I owned was that precious to someone else, I would destroy it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that I sound like a crazy person right now, but holy cow.
Yikes. So the Broaddus's, a lot of the locals like were split. Like, there were some that were in support of them, but there's some that were like, you guys are stop. Like, they were like against them. They were like, you're making this up or something like that. Like, they thought it was a hoax. Which there has been a theory that it is a hoax. Which I think doesn't hold a lot of weight, because the theory goes,
because the previous owners got a letter too, though. They can
right before they moved in, right before the Broaddus
before they moved in. They didn't get it when they first moved in.
Mm-mm. Nobody before had reported ever getting letters from watchers. Here's how the theory goes. The Broadduses, they a few years before that, where they were living in a $300,000 home. A couple years after they moved there, they moved to a $700,000 home, and then they moved to this. They bought for 1.3. And so, which they bought over asking price. So the theory is that they were moving up, they were bouncing up, and they were probably, like, he was a VP of a company, so he's probably moving up in his career as they're doing this. But they probably got into this house and realized it was a little more than they bargained for.
Right.
Because they not only bought that house, but they had to do a bunch of renovation work. So the theory is that they came up with this watcher storyline to get a media buzz and sell the story for a movie. And then that way, the movie place would buy the house and they could wash their hands of it, make some profit on selling the script, and walk with it. To me, this seems like a very far-fetched thing for someone to say, man, we're a little over our head in this.
Somebody who's a VP.
What if?
Who's doing all right. And they go, man, that sounds... I would believe that if it was like Honey Boo Boo's mom, you know?
Yeah.
That's I mean that in the seriousness.
But yeah,
like
it's true. Like,
that type of person who had a TLC show, made a lot of money then, has then since declined, and then is like, all right, we need to figure out a different way to make more money now. Yeah. But a person who's like in a successful growing caurcareer, I don't see that being the option.
Here's our way out. Let's get it bought by Netflix, which Netflix did buy the story.
Did they?
Yeah, and they're making a drama about
from that family.
They bought it from that family, and so that added a lot lot of fuel to that fire.
Yeah.
But
at that point, damage is done. Who cares?
Yeah, and
you got away with it. Good on you. You know, at that point, it's like, hey, it worked. You know,
it worked.
It's one thing if you're trying a scam. If you successfully pull off a scam, I'm way more impressed.
I don't think it was them. The other one reason that this theory exists, though, is because after the renovation plans where they built the two house plan, if you will, got shut down, a bunch of neighbors all got letters. And it was addressed from the friends of the Broaddus family and basically telling them that they sucked for being against the Broaddus family. And then later Derek was like, yeah, that was me. I'm the friends of the Broaddus family. He said, I was just really frustrated at this point. Like I didn't know what to do. Like I felt like I exhausted all my options. And so he's like, if I just send a letter to everybody, one of them's probably the Watcher and they can hear how I feel right now and maybe back off. I don't know. It was like a last ditch effort for him. And so then the theory is like, well, he's a guy writing anonymous letters already.
Yeah, why wouldn't he just be doing that to himself?
Yeah,
but
well,
did they have signs out front of their house? Did they reach the point where? Have you seen that house in North Kansas City? The guy who's got like the no trespassing signs on his house. It is. I can't remember which street it's on exactly, but there's a house where you pull up. He's got a big like sandwich board on his front door that says, and he's got the no trespassing signs on both of his trees and one posted in his yard, like a lot of no trespassing signs. And it says no one should approach this door unless it's the male man or woman.
Weird.
I sent him a letter last week.
I'm watching you.
That's all it said too. I'm watching you.
So the family in 2016, they finally were like, we'll rent it out. So they rented it out at a huge loss. They weren't able to rent it at the same value that their mortgage was. They were still paying a bunch of money on top of their rent value.
Right.
And in their contract, they had to add a stipulation that was like, if another letter comes, you can move out, basically. Well, another letter showed up after these people moved in. It had been
was it addressed to the rentees?
No, it was addressed to. You ready?
No, I guess. Are you ready?
It was addressed to the vile and spiteful Derek and his wench of a wife, Maria. Listen to what this says. It says, 657 Boulevard survived your attempted assault and stood strong with its army of supporters barricading its gates. My soldiers of the Boulevard followed my orders to a T. They carried out their mission and saved the soul of 657 Boulevard with my orders. All hail the Watcher. and then this part.
Are these handwritten?
No, they're typed.
Oh, dang.
And then it says,
it'd be only better if it was like scribbled handwriting, like just insane.
All hail the Watcher.
With like little weird doodles all over it.
And then it says, this is just randomly, he just starts saying, maybe a car accident, maybe a fire, maybe something as simple as a mild illness that never seems to go away but makes you feel sick day after day after day after day after day. Maybe the mysterious death of a pet. Loved ones suddenly die. Planes and cars and bicycles crash. Bones break. You are despised by the house. And the Watcher won.
Burn this place to the ground.
The tenants read this letter and they're like, I will stay.
No way.
Yeah, they did not leave. They had the option.
They were like,
no, well, we're fine.
Well, and then that's the other thing too, is a bit of a confirmation that it wouldn't be Derek then. Is like, why would you have that in a contract that a renter could leave if you're at least, lessening your losses a little bit?
Yep. So in 2019, Lifetime released a movie about it called The Watcher. They later sold it also to Netflix, and Netflix is producing a drama series about it. In July 2019, they also sold the house.
They're doing a drama series, not a documentary.
Yeah, a drama series.
Okay.
And then in 2019, they sold it for $950,000. So a pretty significant loss, almost $500,000 loss. And the whole investigation, there's no trail, no one knows who did it, where it came from. And after they moved out, there's been the new family hasn't reported anything about a Watcher or anything like that. But the thing that you have to keep in mind is that the Woods said they saw nothing, and the Watcher said that the Woods told them to leave, and then they moved. And so
no, the Watcher told the Woods to leave.
Yeah, isn't that what I said? Did I get that
you
backwards?
said the Woods.
The Watcher. Yeah, the Watcher told the Woods to leave, and then they left. And so the Watcher apparently had been directing the Woods, and the Broadduses didn't take the same direction that the Woods took. In theory, if his storyline is true, the Watcher storyline is true, the Woods are lying and they were being directed by the Watcher the whole time. The Broadduses didn't give in to the Watcher's leadership, and then they moved out, and now this new couple.
This new couple is like, we submit to the Watcher. What are you talking about? All hail the Watcher? That's what I'm saying, dude. If I purchase land and you want to come at me like that, I will win.
All hail the Watcher.
You know what I would do? I'd burn the house down and I'd run for mayor.
Run for mayor?
Oh, yeah.
I'm the new mayor.
I want to run the city.
I'm watching the whole town.
And you know what I would do? Eminent domain, the whole street.
One of you. Well, what if it's like a backyard neighbor?
What's
It's
that?
not even on Boulevard. Like, what if it's like
The whole
next
place.
road?
Yeah.
A
It's
couple
about to be a
roads over.
strip mall.
Putting in a Walmart.
Yep.
Watch that.
Yeah. How about you watch? And then the Walmart is like, I'm the Watcher of Walmart. Now you're a crazy person. Have fun with that. Dude, I would.
You're
Oh,
putting-
man.
putting letters
It's
in
not even my
Walmart's
house. And for whatever
mailbox.
reason, I've got this desire to ruin this person's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that I'm crazy, but holy cow.
Yeah, so this guy is, or girl, is a psychopath who's writing these letters. I'm fairly convinced that it's someone that has some sort of legal clout
Influence.
in the town.
Sure. But the new tenants haven't received any letters. Or at least they haven't expressed that they've received any letters.
They haven't told anybody. So either they are under the control of the Watcher. All hail the Watcher. From now on, if we ever say the Watcher, I don't know why we would ever again, but from now on, I just want us to both
All hail the Watcher. Yeah. Hey, and thank you for watching.
All hail the Watcher.
I'm going to respond to every mean YouTube comment that way.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Every single one of these
like
YouTube
all the Tartaria people.
Dude, these people who are like, you two fools laugh like little girls. All hail the Watcher. Whatever, dude. Oh, man. Can we get in touch with the current owners? We should try to interview
We could try. I mean, here's the thing. As far as I could find, I couldn't find anybody who got an interview with them.
Okay.
Their private investigator
Well,
got interviewed.
they haven't been reached out to by the Things I Learned Last Night podcast. That's what they've been waiting on. They've been waiting on a mid-tier podcast to reach out to them.
They're like, who called Today's Show? Tell me when.
Nah, they're too giddy. This is serious.
We need a serious podcast
Yeah.
to talk about the Watcher. All
Hail the Watcher. Oh, man. So that's what I'm saying is if that's my property,
Yeah.
I would have cameras up.
Mm-hmm.
I would try to, first of all, I would spend a couple months trying to figure out who it was. And if I kept getting letters, I would just burn it to the ground.
Yeah.
And
Burn it
I would be in the front yard watching it burn. And I would admit to arson,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. You just say, yeah, I did it.
Or I would just demolish. It's not historic. I would demolish it.
Yeah.
And I would
just build a
be
new house.
outside with the backhoe. That's
Yeah.
like, you know.
Just tearing it down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You might as well. Cause it's like, I mean, if you can't sell it.
And I'd be out front just like a float on a parade. Hey.
Howdy, neighbors. Tearing down
And you know
657.
what? And you know what's annoying is that makes you look insane. All right.
know, yeah.
As I'm standing out front of this house waving, and all the neighbors are like, he tore down his own house.
Tore his house down.
Yeah, he tore down his own
Because of
house
the
over a
Watcher.
little stupid prank my high school son did.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Anybody see Michael?
Yeah.
Oh, he's playing the Watcher.
Yeah. All hail the Watcher. Anyway, I'm saying that makes me so angry. I
Yeah.
would get cameras set up. I would have little garden gnomes in the front yard. I would be up all night with a baseball bat looking through the windows. Like I would be ready
Yeah.
to fiddle off the Watcher. All hail the Watcher.
Hey, thanks for watching Things I Learned Last Night. If you like this video, we have others you can watch, or we have highlights some of our favorite moments from shows. Please make sure to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future episodes. And leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week on Things I Learned Last Night.